Well, hey, real quick, too, just some thoughts on the Falcons. We're coming in less than 10 days of the draft. You've been reporting a lot about people in for visits. Where do you see right now the Falcons are looking at with 9 days out?
Well, just charting the people that have come in and the visits we know about. A lot of the operations been done clandestinely. Normally, we've seen that they've interviewed a lot of linebacker, defensive end type players, a lot of center guard type players. So we know that one of those two positions are definitely coming off the board at some point. I think the rest of the draft will pretty much be a mystery. We do know that Thomas Dimitroff has said there's going to be balance this year. There won't be a whole draft for just defense and one guy going on offense. So, kind of got to be open. This year they got a whole board. I'm sure they're going to be looking for some depth and some quality players at a variety of positions. You kind of want to look at the older end of the roster and maybe start trying to get people that could learn under them, maybe serve an apprenticeship and be able to hit the field full-time in a couple years, maybe a year, maybe 2 years.
How do you think the draft being on Thursday night is going to change, the first round anyway, change the scope of a lot of these teams' strategy?
Well, I think they get a break. They get built-in breaks to reevaluate, stop and pause, and take an assessment of where their board is. So that's going to be different. The break from day 1 to day 2, the break from day 2 to day 3, it's going to allow them additional time to process the information, whereas in the past they were doing that on the fly over 2 days. So I think the brain trust, the thinking people in the league will make good use of that time and maybe not make as many errors in the draft and that we've seen in the past.
We haven't talked to you since the Donovan McNabb trade to Washington. That's a thorn in the Falcons' side. McNabb's always had good games against the Falcons. He's removed from the schedule this year for Falcons fans, but just talk as a whole how kind of a weird offseason it's been with trades and Santonio Holmes going to New York and how that's affecting draft position. It's just seemed really odd this year.
Yeah, it's been definitely been a different business season. I think the CBA's got a lot to do with it. The fact there's no salary cap, money's not an issue. With regards to who they're able to go out and get. You might have some additional players who might not have moved in the past that are moving now. You got character issues with Holmes, who found himself a new place to play because of his issues. So, yeah, it's been quite a unique offseason. And I think a part of it is teams getting older, teams trying to retool on the fly. Nobody's trying to rebuild anymore. They're trying to win right now. And that's kind of what we're seeing. And the backdrop is the labor situation.
That said, do you see this a year maybe where the Falcons could make some different moves in the draft? The rebuilding portion, as you say, is over. This is the third draft. This is where you might make a bigger splash.
I think, you're hearing there's a lot of trade talk, a lot of rumors of potential trades going into the draft, not just to back up guys and stuff. You're seeing where there might be some big names moved to get some picks. People have been loading up on picks. It's going to be a pretty active draft and a pretty active ramp up here over the next 10 days.